Hey, my bones, SilverDFanng with more, forgot my name, with more YouTube reactions. This time around, we got the movie Disney deleted, Togo, by the Fat Files. Love Fat Files, File Electricians, got some good stuff. This is, yeah, I know about Balto, and I know about Balto's story. Did not know about Togo, and it turns out Balto deserves... Togo deserves everything Balto got. And you'll know why I say that in a minute. Enjoy.
I just had surgery. All I wanted to do was take...
Okay, so we got more Fat Files. This one is interesting. I've heard of Togo, but I don't know much about it. The movie Disney deleted. I don't know why Fat Files is like just no hold bar. If you don't know, Fat Electrician tends to do like war stories and like history about soldiers. The Fat Files is his like just deep diving on shit that he likes. I don't know. I don't think he's ever really talked about Disney, and I don't know why he's talking about Togo. So I'm kind of intrigued.
I just had surgery. All I wanted to do was take my pain pills and watch my favorite live-action Disney movie. But no, Disney had to go and make it illegal. Today we're...
Again, I don't know Togo, but I'm sorry. Whose favorite live-action Disney movie is fucking Togo? I'm sorry, but like... Pirates of the Caribbean Black Pearl counts as a live-action Disney movie. Like, there's others too, but like, I don't need to say anything more. Black Pearl, Togo, which one are you gonna watch? You're gonna watch fucking Johnny Depp in makeup.
Talking about Togo. What is Togo? Togo was a dog back in 1925 that saved a bunch of kids' lives, and then the newspapers gave all of the credit to another dog by the name of Balto, and Balto ends up getting a statue in New York City.
And an animated movie in the 90s.
Really seemed fair.
And then in 1995, Steven Spielberg and Kevin Bacon came out with an animated movie that wasn't even slightly historically accurate, also giving Balto all of the credit.
Yeah, well, now you're just being a dick.
But then in 2019, something incredible happened. Disney came out with a live-action movie that was actually fairly historically accurate that corrected the record and gave Togo the credit that he deserved. And if that wasn't cool enough, it starred Willem Dafoe in a dope-ass jacket, and the dog that played Togo was actually the real Togo's great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson. It was fantastic. It was literally one of my favorite movies.
I'm not a breeder, heyo. How... Like, there's no way to know for sure that far back the history of a dog. I have to, like... At some point, like... there has to be a disconnect. I'm sorry, there's just no way that we are keeping track of dog lineages that far back. I feel like that's probably a lie. Also, yeah, I didn't know about Togo and Balto and the whole controversy. I knew about Balto. I've always said Balto's the dog that did it. My bad. Apparently I should be saying Togo.
Ever. And then in September of 2024, Disney comes out of left field and just does the Thanos snap and just deletes it from history. It's not a thing anymore. You can't watch it. And we're going to get into all of it right after word from our sponsor.
Delete me. So good news.
It's new. I will
it's 4570 government.
I will give it to him.
Because nobody fucks like the government.
Oh. Well, I'm going to teach these rabbits about taxes.
Heyo.
I love that woman. This video is brought to you by Delete Me. All right, here's the deal. Super simple, straightforward business model. You give them money, they turn around and make sure the data brokers on the internet aren't selling your personal information. What does that even mean? Okay, here's the entire internet and every free service on the planet inside of a nutshell. Okay, there's a saying, if you're not paying for the product,
you are the product.
What that means is pretty much anything on the internet that you use, that's a service, whether that be Google, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of it. Okay, it's all an app. So one of two things is happening. They're either going to feed you ads, and that's how that company makes money, since their service service is free, or they're going to collect your personal information, then turn around and sell it to data brokers on the internet, and then they're going to turn around and sell it to whoever buys it. And next thing you know, you're getting 17,000 robocalls every single day. And that's where Delete Me comes in. They will look through all the major data brokers and find the ones that are selling your personal information and submit opt-out requests on your behalf, and then they are legally obligated to comply. And then
I've said this before, I still hate the fucking fact that this is an industry. Delete Me is not the only one that does this. I hate the fact that we need an industry of websites fighting on our behalf, being like, hey, can you not sell this person's info just because they use Google once?
Welcome, Pokemon
continue to monitor these
community
data
game.
brokers, and if they get your information again, Delete Me will submit an opt-out request again. Basically, you're paying Delete Me to get rid of all the downsides of all of the free stuff on the internet, which I think is absolutely worth it. If you want to check them out, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. Okay, here's the deal. In 1925, in a very remote town way up in Alaska called Nome, there's an outbreak of diphtheria. Now, diphtheria has a very high mortality rate for kids. It's literally called the children's plague, and if they don't get an antitoxin, a lot of these kids are going to end up dying. And to make things worse, it's winter, it's negative 50 degrees outside, and the only way to get this antitoxin to these kids is to go to the nearest major city 674 miles away with dog sled teams and then bring it all the way back to Nome. And according to the 1995 animated movie, all of it was done by a half dog, half wolf by the name of Balto, who was accompanied by his accomplice that was a talking goose, which obviously...
A Russian goose, for some reason.
Obviously, that's all nonsense. The only thing realistic about that movie was there was, in fact, a diphtheria outbreak in 1925, and there was, in fact, a dog that was named Balto, but he was not half wolf. He was 100% Siberian Husky. And he was bred by a guy by the name of Leonard Seppala, who's credited with actually being the first dude to bring Siberian Huskies over to America. And Leonard Seppala is a badass in the world of dog sleds, okay? This guy has, like, one of the best dog sled teams. He's one of the best breeders. At one point, he was in the Winter Olympics. He's winning...
I just realized, so I am 100% a wolf.
Welcome, Shy96.
Apparently, might be a Siberian Husky. Looking at, okay, this is insane. Okay.
It's delicious, Shy96.
Yeah, I fit way too close into this lineup. I want to be again. I am a wolf. I'm not a Siberian Husky. This is wolf propaganda. I, SilverDFanng, am not a Siberian Husky. I'm just drawn like that, apparently. Dumb. So dumb. Not you streaming on Just Chat and not inviting me. Would you actually just watch videos with me and react? I don't know.
Competitions. He's like top of his game. He is one of the legends of dog sledding. And he actually ended up selling Balto to a guy by the name of Gunnar Kaysen because Balto wasn't good enough to make it onto his sled team. He was too slow. The lead dog in his sled team for almost a decade was a dog by the name of Togo. Togo was a very sick puppy. He was the only puppy in his litter, and because he was so sick,
Blue, I know you would
actually,
because you've done
kept
it.
the dog in the house, didn't let him go out in the kennel, and kind of babied this dog. So
I have a bunch of videos of you giggling and talking.
once this dog was in better health, he was kind of spoiled, and he was a troublemaker, and he was a little bit rebellious, and Seppala just didn't really like him because he wouldn't ever listen. He was untrainable, and because of that, Seppala ends up selling him to be a pet for somebody else. And then one day, Togo, about 2 weeks after being a house pet, jumps through the kitchen window and runs back to Seppala's house and goes back to the kennel. At which point, Seppala's like, well, fuck, okay, I guess you're not leaving, but you're still not part of my dog sled team. So then Seppala would go out, take his dog sled team, you know, training, doing events, and Togo would actually dig his way out of the kennel and run alongside the sled team. And eventually he's like, fuck it, I guess we'll see how good you are as a sled dog. And he ends up being the lead dog. And Seppala said out of all the dogs he ever had, Togo was the absolute best.
I'm going to name him Togo after the...
I just want to point this out. So this is a Disney live action movie from 2002 called Togo. That's William Dafoe. The same year this came out, William Dafoe played a little green masked man named the Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man Sam Raimi movie. It always fascinates me, like, and I get it, because, like, you don't choose your jobs as an actor. But it's always insane to me, just some of the movies an actor will do in the same year. It's just like complete opposites, and I love it.
An underdog. Named for an underdog.
Okay, fast forward to 1925 with the gnome diphtheria outbreak. Togo is 12 years old at this point in time. Okay, the average sled dog only makes it to 8 years old. Togo is 12,
actor.
and he is still Seppala's lead dog. Now, the serum is already on its way from all the other sled dog teams, and Seppala and Togo are in Nome, Alaska.
You also watch Robert Pattinson jerk off in the lighthouse.
So they're going to send out their best guy, which is Seppala, and he's going to leave to go out and meet the other mushers. And that's on January 28th, 1925. So 2 days after Seppala leaves, Seppala is going to cover the biggest distance. He has to go 170 miles to the pickup point and start heading back. And 2 days after he leaves on January 30th,
William Dafoe's face, it feels like every muscle moves on its own.
They're going to start bringing it back. And then the next day on January 31st, another sled dog team
You heard what I said, Blue.
And that's the one with Balto, and they're going to pick it up and bring it back to Nome. So Seppala...
Okay, fine, I'll be nice. So, in the lighthouse, it's about these two lighthouse people, one older and one younger, just getting into the role. It's very lonely. Robert Pattinson plays the younger lighthouse, and there is a scene of him jerking off in front of a wall,
doing the bulk of the work. Not only that, but when Seppala leaves, because the clock is ticking, these kids are sick and they're gonna die unless they get this antitoxin, Seppala elects to take a shortcut across the Norton Sound. The Norton Sound is a very small inlet of the Bering Sea that freezes over in winter, but the ice is very thin and it is not stable. It is not safe to go out on this, but the clock is ticking and Seppala's gotta save these kids. So on the way there, he crosses the Norton Sound, makes it to the pickup point.
I get it, it's 2002, and they couldn't actually do it, because, again, it's super-ass dangerous, but fuck, this CGI ice is really just taking it out. I'm just like, this is awful looking.
Picks up the serum, heads back, and he's going to cross the Norton Sound again. And the Norton Sound is absolutely terrifying. It's 25 miles of just straight ice. Thin ice that's cracking and breaking apart underneath him and his dogs the entire time, both times he does it. At one point on the way back underneath him...
I'm sorry. I can... Look, if you're already in the movie, I can guess that, like, you're in it, so it's like it feels more realistic. All I can see with this is, like, an early 2000s, like, screensaver on, like, a Macintosh or something.
And his dogs the entire time, both times he does it. At one point on the way back with the serum,
So I think William Dafoe is a better actor than Jim Carrey. I like Jim Carrey a lot. I think it's just Jim Carrey has bigger, more like blockbuster movies, but truth is William Dafoe is a feeder train actor, and William Dafoe definitely, I think, gives a stronger performances than Jim Carrey.
Of the ice ends up breaking, and Seppala and his sled team are literally on a gigantic free-floating piece of ice. And Togo, because he's so intelligent, sees the closest piece of land that he can see and brings the dogs hauling ass across, and they end up leaping and pulling the entire sled with them across open water, lands on land, and then drags the sled with it, saving the entire run. Seppala, the dogs, the kids, everybody.
12-year-old
literally
sick
saves the day.
12-year-old sick
run,
dog,
Seppala
man.
has to go 170 miles there to pick up the serum, crossing 25 miles of frozen water, comes back, crosses another 25 miles of frozen water, by far and away the most dangerous stretch of the race, and he ends up hitting 90 miles back towards Nome before the next sled team ends up meeting him. That guy starts heading back towards Nome. He rides for about a day, and then Gunnar and Balto meet him, and Gunnar and Balto finish the last 50 miles back into Nome.
Oh, okay, so I now understand the issue. So Balto and Gunnar do exist, but they didn't actually do the whole thing themselves. It was Togo and William Dafoe. I can't remember the character's name. Okay, so, yeah, this feels like very, like, early. This does feel like something history has and will do. Which is, they only care about who ends it. Everything else doesn't matter. They only care about the winner. That finish line only matters. Who put the work in? Who cares?
Just so we're on the same page, Togo and Seppala went 260 miles, Balto and Gunner went 50, but because Gunner was the last guy to ride into Nome, he got all of the credit along with Balto, and that's all the newspapers cared about. They gave all of the credit to those two. Okay, do you understand? Do you see why I like this movie now? It's literally a fat electrician video, but it's about a dog, and it was a movie made by Disney. Okay, this is my entire MO. That's the only reason I'm popular on the internet. I find an obscure historical figure that contributed greatly and did incredible things
and
got
really good at it
in the annals of history, and nobody talks about him, and they give all the credit to somebody else that did less. And not only that, it even had Togo had a troubled youth where he would get in trouble, ends up being a terrific leader, and then the icing on the cake, it's his last hoorah. He's 12 years old. He's too old to be doing this, and he gets his, old age and treachery moment. The only thing that could make this movie more of a fat electrician video is if Togo had bad eyesight and had to lie on his eye exam to be the lead dog, and he drank too much booze. That's the only thing that could possibly make it better.
Or if he was a franchise only in the Midwest.
Got one more in you, pup.
And not only that, it kind of fixed the historical record in the common zeitgeist, right? Because that 1995 animated movie made everybody think that Balto did all of this by himself, which he absolutely didn't. And it did it to the degree that even today, as I'm filming this video, if you go to Balto's Wikipedia page, the top line said that Balto was Leonard Seppala's lead dog, which isn't true at all. It was never true. Leonard Seppala bred him and then sold him to somebody else because he was too slow. Leonard Seppala's lead dog was Togo. For the love of God, somebody please change that on Wikipedia. Okay, so you guys get it. It was a great movie, just on its own merit, and then on top of that, it was fairly historically accurate. There's a couple of things wrong with it, but by and large, it was pretty damn accurate. So why on earth would Disney just get rid of it to the point that it is now illegal to watch it? Apparently, when it comes to movies or films or like digital works of art, if it's not making the money that you wanted it to make, you can apparently just agree to never sell it again, never stream it again, never profit off of it in any way. And if you're willing to do that, you can write the entire thing off on your taxes as a loss.
That's some neat trick.
And
yeah, so the Disney Vault kind of exists because of this.
that's exactly what Disney did in September of 2024 with like 25 to 30 movies, getting them a $1.5 billion tax break. Okay, do you understand how absolutely insane it is for them to be allowed to take a perfectly good asset and intentionally destroy it just so they get a tax write-off? It shouldn't even be legal. This
Warner Brothers also famously, well, every company does this, but Warner Brothers got really dumb about it and got caught. A couple years back, they shelved the Batgirl movie for the money, and they also shelved the Wile E. Coyote movie, which after many years and a lot of people fighting for it, is coming out in theaters soon. Wile E. Coyote versus Acme, which looks good.
literally undermines the entire concept of capitalism, okay? And I'm not bashing on capitalism. I'm the most hardcore capitalist you'll find in your entire life.
I believe
but logically speaking, the entire proposition of capitalism is like, okay, you're an entrepreneur. You're going to take your own money, your own time. You're going to pour your blood, sweat, and tears into this project, your vision, and you're going to create this product, and then you're going to take it to market, and if it goes well, you deserve to make a ton of money because you're the one that footed all of the risk, and that's why we can justify millions.
I think it's still Warner Brothers, dude. Like, yeah, they might have sold it off, but I think it's still Warner Brothers. Under
millionaires and billionaires inside of society. That's the logic, whether you agree with it or not. Okay, but the flip side of that is if you take the risk and pour your blood, sweat, and tears into a project and it doesn't go that great, guess what? Get fucked. You lose money. That's how it's supposed to go. You don't get to destroy the asset and then write the entire thing off. That's complete and utter bullshit.
Welcome to the internet.
That's a write-off?
Yeah.
Do you even know what a write-off is?
Do you understand how fucked up something has to be for Disney to psyop me into kind of low-key advocating for taxes? It's insane. Okay, and where's the line? Where does this end? I mean, imagine if Sig Sauer, that company that invented the P320, that pistol that allegedly when you drop it, it just fires itself. What if they came out and they were like, hey, we invested millions and millions and millions of dollars in R&D and development of this gun, and we've decided it's not working out that great, so we're just going to go ahead and never sell it again and write the entire project off.
I'll make that deal.
I own part of Bunker Branding, the company that makes all my shirts and my hats and my merch. I own a part of that company. If I walked into the warehouse in Bernie, Texas, gathered up all the shirts that we had made, hauled them out to the parking lot, threw a Molotov cocktail at it, started a bonfire, and roasted marshmallows, should I be allowed to write all of that off as a loss, or am I...
As an American, yes, you could, and it is gross, and I'm not going to go down the capitalist, the capitalist society wormhole again. Let's just say the U.S., a lot of countries are doing it, but the U.S. has proven that a neo-capitalist society is toxic and will destroy us.
I just an asshole and an idiot? I'm gonna go with the second one. Okay, that's the gig. That's capitalism. When you win
Solo
big,
for now.
and when you lose, guess what? Tough shit, you fucking lost. The end. You don't get to hit backspace
Maybe later.
and delete history. Huh. Actually, you know, if you would read the entire article, Disney cites that it costs a lot of money to house and curate a large catalog of videos. Huh. Okay, look at me. Look at me. That is a bullshit excuse, okay?
It is.
How on earth would some electrician from Iowa know that? Because me and my friends got together and started our own streaming platform, pepperbox.tv, and it's got like 73,000 subscribers, and we've got a ton of videos up on there. Guess what? It does not cost that much money to have an extra video sitting on the servers. And we also make exclusive content just for that platform, just like Disney Plus does. I would never even remotely
Have fun
fathom
charging
coming up with
your
an exclusive
headphones.
piece of content, paying to have it made, putting it on my platform, and then it didn't get enough views on my platform, so I then delete it and have it as a tax write-off. It just doesn't even make sense. And if you still don't believe me, look at the platform we're probably on right now, YouTube. Any person on the planet can get on Google, start a YouTube account, upload hundreds of gigabytes worth of video, not get any views, not have their channel monetized, taking up space on Google servers, and guess what? YouTube's still making a metric fuck ton of money. But on top of that, it gets worse. It gets even more unethical because a significant portion of actors and actresses, when they are agreeing on how they're going to get paid to work, to be an actor and actress in a film, they agree that they're going to get paid part of their salary
Nice
in
to meet
royalties.
you.
This is big. A lot of deals, because they don't want to pay up front, they will do royalties. And what that is he's going to say it.
Means every time that video gets a view, they get a little bit of money, and that's how they make their living. But when Disney comes out and just nukes the movie from existence so nobody can stream it, nobody can buy DVDs, nobody can watch it whatsoever, guess how much money they end up getting paid?
Zero.
Absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah. So if you ever wondered why actors that you don't see for decades and how they still might have a lavish lifestyle, that's why. If you make a movie that has a huge following and something that is rewatched often, you can live off of those royalties easily.
Even though they put all of the work into it.
But you can't do this to me.
You know how much I sacrificed?
Going back to my Bunker Branding example, if I go into my t-shirt warehouse, haul all my t-shirts outside, have a bonfire, roast marshmallows over the top of it like an asshole, I don't get to turn around to my employees and be like, sorry guys, I didn't sell any t-shirts. Go fuck yourselves, you're not getting paid. No, it's not how that shit works. Okay, the entrepreneur, the person that's assuming all the risk, has the obligation, morally and ethically, to make sure the employees that work on a project get paid the amount of money
The
that was agreed
entertainment
upon
sector
for that
is
work.
very
Okay, that's how
toxic
capitalism
practices.
works, and Disney is messing up the entire system. I can't believe how mad I am about this dog movie, okay? And the thing that makes it worse is even if this video goes like super viral and Disney like wants to remake the movie because they realize they fucked up, they're gonna ruin the movie, okay? Because they're gonna go into some Disney board meeting and they're gonna be like, wow, that is an incredible story. Why on earth would we get rid of that movie? We should remake the entire thing. You know what? However, I don't like the notion that there was a white dude with a bunch of purebred Siberian Huskies. What if instead we cast Anne Hathaway to be
I hate it because there is a non-zero chance that happens. I'm so tired of companies and entertainment fake woke. And I want to be clear, it's fake woke. They don't actually care about other cultures, genders, anything being represented. All they care about is other people care about it. And it is a easy, cheap way to get people to watch your shit. It doesn't make a good movie, doesn't make a good product. It's just, you're going to get the people that are angry, or you're going to get the people that are like, oh, hey, they look like me. Does it help your movie? Not at all.
Leonard Seppala, and then we made Togo be a pug, and then on the dog sled team there was a ferret and a cat and some 14-year-old e-girl that thinks she's a dog. Not only is Disney ruining capitalism, they're disrespecting the memory of Togo, okay? He was 12 years old. He was an old man that ran 260 miles through a snowstorm across a frozen fucking ocean to save a bunch of kids' lives. Then he never got the credit that he deserved for it, and then Kevin Bacon and Steven Spielberg fucked up the common zeitgeist of history, making everybody think that Balto's punk ass did it, and then Disney comes out of left field and they're like, you know what, we're going to fix the historical record. And then 4 years after that, they nuke that from existence because it doesn't meet the bottom line of Bob Iger's fucking spreadsheet. Okay, all I wanted to do was come home from surgery, sit in my lazy boy, take my pain pills, and watch Leonard Seppala and Togo save a bunch of kids, but I can't because Disney is trying to fuck up capitalism. And now I gotta go get on eBay and see if I can find an old DVD copy of this movie so it's not lost forever. I guess, thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
So yeah, it's not just Disney. Warner Brothers, Paramount, any major company, the newer ones less so, but like anything that comes from decades of entertainment money, this is common practice for them. Apple does it, I think, but that one I don't know for sure. Prime absolutely does that, and they're not even that old. This was fun. Togo, yeah. Polto did some. Togo did more. All hail Togo, the Wonder Husky. Yay! Hey, thanks for checking out this video. Check me out on Twitch, SilverDFanng, 2 N's in Fang. Check me out on Twitter and Blue Sky under the same name. Also TikTok. Have a great night.